Hello, everyone. I am back with the facilitation moderation of the day. It seems we had some unforeseen circumstances, and our next guest, Lucian Cernat, who is head of Global Regulatory Cooperation and International Procurement Negotiation at the European Commission, is not able to attend at this moment because of some unforeseen circumstances. But we have another speaker who is ready to join, and he is Alin Ivan, who is a change and strategy consultant at ECG Integrated Consulting Group. Alin, welcome in the club.
Hello, everybody. Alin Ivan is my name.
So, in such a short notice, Alin, tell us, please, before you start your presentation, which I understand it's going to be in Romanian. Tell us, please, about your experience in just a couple of words.
Well, let's try to make it in English. I shall try to speak in English, and I'm apologizing myself from the beginning for my lack of English knowledge. It's not one of my best languages, but okay. So it will be in English to answer to your question.
Yes. So tell us, please, about your experience in business before we kick off the presentation. Maybe in 30 seconds, 1 minute.
Yeah, well, I work in consulting since 1999, so it's a long. I have made a long journey. For almost the same company, it is an Austrian company based in Graz, in Austria, and we work mainly on change management, innovation, digital transformation, and things like this. So everything is under the umbrella of change management.
Okay, sounds good. And I believe I think the presentation will be focused on this in the next 25 minutes.
Well, the presentation will be focused on decision in digital times. So how should the managers would take the decision with the help of the digital system?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Alin, you have the floor for the next 25 minutes. And thank you very much for joining on such short notice.
It was my pleasure. Hello, everybody. We shall talk for the next 25 minutes about decision with the help of the digital systems. I'm coming from a workplace. That is why I came such in a hurry in front of my computer. But I have this presentation prepared. I shall try to share the screen if I can. Okay, then. I think it's working, isn't it? Okay, so in these times especially, but also in the past times when everybody was in the office, it was really important to have the help of the digital system. Imagine that you are in front of a client and you are making an offer, and the client is asking you how much does it cost, and it is very difficult for you to know by heart how much does it cost, especially if the client is asking something very complicated. And you have two options. First of all is to go to the digital system and see how much does it cost in a matter of seconds, or to say to the client, okay, I can't tell you right now. I shall go in my office, I'll make a calculation, and I'll come back to you. Of course, the first option is the best. You can tell your client, wait just a second. I shall reach my ERP, and I will tell you in several seconds. And this will impress the client, of course, because you know everything about your business. So that is why the digital system is very helpful in taking decisions. In all kinds of decisions. It's not only for the top management. It's also for the middle management and for everybody else, for sales persons, for virtually anybody. You can, in your digital system, you can practically, if you have a full digital system, I mean not just a web page, you can have your budgeting system, your salary system, everything else, and in a matter of seconds you can make the best decision that you can have in front of your client. Let's have a look at the digital model as our company understands it. Is intended to offer organization orientation into the digital transformation and help them to make the progress successfully. Practically, if you want to transform yourself into the digital, you just don't make it. You take parts of your company that were analog until this time and you make them digital. What you must have is a strategy. At the beginning, you have to have a strategy. The strategy will tell you where do you want to go, what do you want to reach, and in that moment, you make a road. I'm in this point here. You make this point with some sort of a diagnosis tool, and I want to reach this point that your strategy is showing you. And between these 2 points, you make a road, taking care of your clients, taking account of your competition, and so on. And on this road, parts of this road will show you that you have to involve digital tools. They can be website, they can be e-stores, budgeting system, complete ERPs, and so on. But all you have to do at the beginning is a strategy. You can't do anything without having a strategy, without having a vision. Where do you want to go? You can't just transform some analog departments into digital ones. Because in this way, you can classify and clarify ideas and initiatives. You understand why do you need digital for? It's one thing to have the digital only for, let's say, accounting, and it's something completely different to have digital for the whole company. And when I say digital, I mean even the bureaucracy of the company. I mean the management doesn't have to be physically in the office to approve a document whatsoever. He can be anywhere on the road in his car, and he can access a document from somewhere and read it and see it and approve it. So all kinds of ideas and initiatives, dependencies. You can't have a company that is depending of only one man. Imagine what will happen if this man is sick or is unable to work. There are, of course, very successful companies that are depending to only one man. Imagine how it was Apple at the beginning, how it is Tesla now. But if that person, the chief from Apple or the chief from Tesla, is saying something wrong, how this happened at Tesla several times, the stock of the company it is going down. That is why the critical circuits in a company must be doubled, not to be only one person. And doubling these circuits can very easily be done by digital systems. Digital transformation is the change that an organization goes to find the potential as a whole. I mean, not just a part of the company, but the company as a whole. And the aim of digitalization is to bring people and the organization and technology to harmony, and in the end, to make a better company, to make a more efficient one. I mean, digitalization must help the business, not to make digitalization because it is fashionable. You must understand the business, and you must support the business with the digitalization. At the end, you have to make added value. we can make digitalization on the business performance. I mean, digitalization of the business model. Imagine the Internet of Things, how information is transmitted from actives, from assets, from one asset to another. You can make digitalization of services to understand which are the most important services that you are offering and how information can be imagine a company that is making, let's say, it's a service company that repairs cars, and you can see which car needs with what kind of repairment, how much does it cost, everything on on stages of repairments and so on. You can make innovation and technology, but buying an innovative technology doesn't mean that the company has been innovative. The other company, the supplier, was innovative. You just bought a new technology. In order to make innovation in technology, you have to understand and think how to use the technology for your business. The second step of the digitalization model is the collaboration. It can be the collaboration between the company, as I have told you before. The manager doesn't have to be physically in the office in order to approve a document, to see the documents. It can be anywhere, at clients, at home, in his car or in his plane, and he can see the documents and he can approve them. Also, you can make digitalization for interaction with clients. And I'm not talking about a simple website, but also of interacting with clients in the form of answering robots. If the client is asking something, the robot that understands the question in a digital format can answer to that question to the client, and you don't have to use a physical person to do this. And also interaction with the networks. And also, in the level of the organization, you have digital processes. I mean, you eliminate physical papers that were used to transport the information, and you transform yourself into a digital organization. I mean, you see everything about this organization at the top management on a dashboard in front of your computer. Every morning, you see the most important KPIs of your company. As a middle manager, also, you see what is interesting for you in the department that you run, and so on. This is a kind of digital organization. And what you need for this one is the digital skills. You can imagine all kind of digitalization in your company. If the people will not be able to use it, then it is for nothing, because every digital model, the most extraordinary digital model is useless if it isn't populated with information, with data. So that is why it must be either automatically or by people. It must be populated by data. If we speak about Internet of Things, of course, the assets will populate this model with data. Imagine a company that is having assets no matter where, on fields. Imagine an oil company that is having assets on oil fields, and these assets are transmitting information to a central dashboard. So in this model, you don't need people, but you need a very strong network in order to have the information transmitted at the right moment and in the correct form. Yeah, but of course, these are the just a second. These are the points of fields and action in the digital transformation. It is starting with the innovation and technology, going to the digital business models, and then to the digitalization of services. Most of the companies nowadays are transforming themselves from companies that from selling goods to services. The start was given, if I'm not wrong, by Rolls-Royce, that is making engine for planes. And they are not selling the engines anymore, but they are renting them, and they are paid with a cost of hours of flight. Even that the engines are physically on the wing of the plane, Rolls-Royce is paid in hours per flight, in a cost of hours per flight. Is some sort of a digitalization, is some sort of a services model, not a selling model anymore. In organization, you start from digital skills. You see what you have and what you need, and then you upgrade the digital skills of your employees. Then go to digital organization. You understand how the reports and all the documents and all the information in the company must be transferred from in the department. And then you go to the digital processes. And on the collaboration, you start with the interaction with networks, in which network the information will be transferred, and then with clients, and then collaboration between the company, in the company. One of the key questions that we have asked, we as consultants, was how can we digitalize products and services that are already producing? How can we add value for customers for products that are already been made? And imagine Netflix. Netflix started from DVD shipping, and now it is DVD streaming. So they are not. You don't go to rent a DVD or to rent a video cassette. You just enter the Netflix and see the stream. Also Amazon, that are not that were selling books, and now they have Kindle, and a lot of things. You can ask for yourself in your companies which services, or in most cases, which products are becoming better or more accessibly in a digital way, and how the digital way can improve your customer benefit. You always have to keep in mind that digitalization is not something that you do because it's fashionable, but because it helps the client. Helping the client means added value for your company. You have to have the client in your mind all the time. Then, where and how data can be made. The example that I have given you with the company, the oil company that have assets on oil fields. And imagine that these assets are equipped with some sort of sensors, and they are all form some sort of a network, and they send information to a central dashboard. You have to trust that this network will always work, and when you open the computer to see the dashboard, you will see what is in there. For this one, you have to use some what it is called design thinking. You have to work with ideation, with triggers. Why do I need digitalization? Where can I use digitalization? What are the last trends in the digitalization? And so on. Then with processes, in which process should I introduce the digital? Should I make the whole process digital? If yes, how? If I can't do this in this moment because I need some human work, or some human intelligence, or some human decisions, which part of these human decisions or intelligence will be assisted by digitalization? My laptop is the battery of my laptop is going down. I still have, let's say, 19%. So let's hope that it will work until the end. And the value chain on the process, how much of the value chain, how much value added it is going to be in the value chain. And then you can experience, you can imagine the customer journey. What is the customer doing? why he will buy more a digital product or a product with digital approach, let's say like this, with digital add-on instead of an analog one? How much is he going to pay with the product with the digital value? So these are the questions that you can ask yourself if you want to put digitalization in your company, digitalization that will help for the decision. So, and then what kind of business models are built with the value proposition? So imagine this Amazon, the Facebook, the Uber. The Uber, for instance, it's a digital company as is. I mean, it is some sort of a taxi company, but it has no cars. The Airbnb also, it is a booking system, but it has no hotels, and so on. I mean, you can understand, you can ask yourself and understand your business, what you can do with digitalization, how on the first hand digitalization can help your business with e-commerce and so on, and also how digitalization can assist your decision. What information do I need to take the decision? Actually, decisions are in two kinds, yes or no on one part, and the second part, how much? Well, in these ways you can use, of course, digital support to see how much, or if a product will be done or not, or if a supplier will be accepted or not, or things like this. But in every case, you need digital support because you take a rational decision based on figures. And also, you can think about subscription models. Instead of selling the product, you can pack it as a service, and you can sell some sort of an abo. Some sort of data models, how the data is coming, where it is going, what information it is coming to me, how this information is transformed on the road, what do I get on my dashboard, and so on. Because on your dashboard as a top management, you get very synthetic data, but as going down in the management level, there are more and more rough data. And you approach these options with lean startup, with business model generation, and so on. These are some tools that we use in our consultancy in order to help companies to change. Then, how do we anchor, and this is the last one, customer-centered innovation in an organization? What conditions do we have, or what conditions do we have to create for innovation in our company? This will be our discussion of tomorrow afternoon about the innovation. What do you need for innovation is nothing else than intelligence, human intelligence. There is no machine that can do innovation. And you need intelligence that is, let's say, free. I mean, you pay the person that is intelligent. And it is a resource that is created once it is used. It's very counterintuitive what I'm saying now. But the more you use, the more you have it. And then you can ask yourself which innovation processes and frameworks are suitable for the companies that you run, because not everything is suitable for everyone. And also technology life cycle. If you buy a technology that is already old, you lose in front of your competition. You have to buy something that you'll use at least 5 or 6 years from now on, if it is possible. As tools that you use in your company, there are design thinking of, again, trees, open innovation, lean startup, and business modeling. These are the most important tools that you can use in your company to make innovation. But about this one, we'll talk tomorrow afternoon. I think that my time is up, and still I was just warming. So, Mircea, you said you have a question?
Yes. Hey, thanks a lot, Alin. Very insightful, and I see a couple of comments in the chat. We have actually two questions, but they are quite focused on the public sector. First, coming from Gabi Dumitriu. What do you think about the digitalization, transparency in the public sector? What's missing? Because most of them are only talking and only few are actually doing something in this direction. So this would be the first part of the question.
What is missing a strategy. They're missing a strategy. I mean, imagine how the public sector should be with the digitalization inside, if I may say so. How it will be with the digitalization inside. It is not, let's make digital a payment at the treasury bank. But is how it will be with the digitalization inside. The public sector must have a strategy, not for digitalization. Digitalization is a tool, but for the whole system. Public sector is there to give services to public. And the strategy will be, how do we want to be in 5 years in order for the public, we are the customer, yeah, in order for the public to be satisfied. And then they have the customer journey, what the customer must do to be satisfied, and what do I have to do as a public officer in order to make the customer happy. And then you'll see where the digitalization is coming. Of course, this is coming with a lot of transparencies and with a lot of how do you say this in English? Letting people go, because a lot of human work will be transformed into digital, and then this is a big barrier, a big stop
challenge
in doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not a challenge. It's a stop. So people are resisting to this one. Because their work will be replaced by machines that will do a better job and a faster job and a more reliable job, less errors. But there will be people that will not have a job, and this is something that we should be concerned about.
And the last question we can take is coming from Andrei. In the context of innovation, how do you see the partnerships between the public and private sector? Do you have projects of this kind? What were the challenges that you saw there?
Partnership
and private. Yeah, public and private partnerships.
Well,
together.
Yeah. Should I answer now as a person that is living in Cluj, or as a Romanian? Or as a person that is working with a company from Graz, because there are three in each three of these characteristic of mine. There are three different answers. In Cluj, we have the opportunity to see that most of the time, let's say, the Mayoralty is working with the universities and with the private sector, and things are happening. I don't see this in the whole Romania. Just, let's say, clusters of these islands. So is something in Cluj, probably is the same in other cities, I do not know, but it is not in the whole country. It should be a strategy at the level of the whole country, of this kind of partnership. And should be mostly between the research centers and the local authorities. This is happening, for instance, in Graz, very powerful. So there are very good linkage between the city of Graz, the Mayoralty of Graz, and universities, and especially the technical university and the private sectors. And things are moving forward. So it must be, but everything, I said it again, boring probably, everything is starting from a strategy.
Okay,
that's the starting point.
Thank you, Alin. And innovation is not equal, is not even going in all the places. So basically we need to have some points of innovation which we could use as examples in other cities, and then to spread all over the whole administration and in the public space. So in the end, it takes some time to actually have it on a country level.
Also, you don't have to be rich to make innovation. You just have to be, let's say, smart.
Open-minded.
People are saying, okay, I shall have enough money to invest in innovation, but until then I'll do things in the old-fashioned way. Doing things in the old-fashioned way will not bring you more money to invest in. I mean, you don't have to be Philips or BMW or I do not know to invest in innovation. Okay, my time
Thank
is
you,
up.
Alin. Thank you, Alin, very much. Good to see you.
Thank you,
And
everybody.
talk later.
See you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cluj Innovation Days 2020 is part of the Future Skills lifelong learning program. The project is co-financed from the European Social Fund through the Human Capital Operational Program 2014-2020.